Jai Shri Mataji, dear brothers and sisters, let's the whole world do a namaskar to our mother consciously with full attention. Namaskar, Kundalini.
It is such a pleasure again to come to Hampstead and to the town hall of Hampstead. Hampstead has a special place in the play of the divine. Perhaps the people living in Hampstead do not know the significance of this place. It is such a pleasure again to come to Hampstead and to the town hall of Hampstead. Hampstead has a special place in the play of the divine. Perhaps the people living in Hampstead do not know the significance of this place. But we know there have been great poets who were created out of the beautiful atmosphere of this area. And one of them was William Blake, who has said a lot about the future ascent of man. He is one of the greatest seers of modern times, I should say. Into such details he has gone, that's surprising. How human being could reach that height of understanding of the divine laws. We understand the laws that are made by human beings. These laws also have come to us through our unconscious, through that great energy within us which inspires how to regulate our lives, how to improve, and how to give the basics required securities in life. The whole social structure was based on the laws that we received from the unconscious. If human beings think that they have got these through their mental projection, they are sadly mistaken. Whatever you project through your mental effort is actually dead. It's already there. Whatever is known to you is in the library. You have to just read it. But whatever new has to be known comes to you through the unconscious. This unconscious knows the divine laws. And by the time it arrives at the human awareness, there are some distortions, there are some misunderstandings. That's how we go on improving our systems, our governments, our ideas, how to change, how to be more peaceful, how to be more congenial with each other, how to keep countries together, bound in some basic things. But alas, what we find that human beings have separated themselves. Nations have separated themselves. The whole world is on the brink of breaking into pieces. The laws that are based actually basically on the fact that man must love man sometimes start creating hatred among human beings. But divine laws never change. They are eternal laws. They are the laws that are made for only our well-being. Nothing bad can come through them. And to understand these laws, we have to enter into the realm of God, into the realm where they operate, to understand them. For example, to understand the laws of England, I had to come to England. In the same way, you have to enter into the kingdom of God to understand those laws, and you are amazed how effective they are, how universal they are. Supposing there is a Sahaja yogi in London and one in China, another in Russia, and the one in Australia, they speak the same language. They know the same thing. Because these are the laws manifested by the all-pervading universal divine power of love of God. It cannot be contained into small pots, into small nations, into small brains of human beings. Those laws govern us everywhere. For example, a flower becomes a fruit under that law. A seed becomes a tree under that law. Your heart pulsates under that law. Your food is digested under that law. You are brought to your balances also under that law. For example, you are an extrovert, you work very hard, you think of the future all the time, your heart will be attacked. Supposing you work too much, means you work with your brain, your heart will be attacked, a balance. If you work with your heart too much, you are an emotional person, you weep too much, cry too much, then your brain goes out. Look at the balance. The heart should go out, but the brain goes out. All these balancing forces are worked out by this all-pervading power of love. Now, many people have talked about this all-pervading power of love. Everybody says this is love. There's a big organization coming up. Every third day I find an organization of love. This all-pervading power has been felt by so many before. But when they wrote about it, others took a key from that, or a clue from that, and started dead organizations in the name of all-pervading power. Now, this all-pervading power is a very subtle thing. At this human level, you cannot feel it. It's a fact. You cannot feel this all-pervading power at all. If you say, I feel it, then you are denying the reality. If you want to live with unreal things, dishonest to yourself, then nobody can help. But if you are honest, you have to know that this all-pervading power, when you have, you yourself become collectively conscious. You yourself have a different awareness than what you have. Now people might say, all right, we have felt that different awareness. We are there. The other day somebody told me that I am God realized. I said, all right. Now there must be something special about you to be God realized. And when we talked about things, I was amazed what he was saying. And I just couldn't understand how could he believe into such a thing as pronouncing that he is God realized. So we have to understand when these laws operate, they operate, but we do not know about them. We cannot feel it. We don't, at the most we might see a flower becoming a fruit. But can we say, how does it become? It's a living process. All living processes can be only reported, but they cannot be explained. For example, you can say, the fetus is there, the fetus has to grow, and the child is born. This is just reporting. But how can you explain that a foreign body goes into the human being, into the mother's womb, and it is not rejected according to all laws known? Everything that goes into the human body has to be rejected. But is not rejected. It is nurtured, looked after, loved. And then at the right time, it is thrown out of the body. Who does all these things? We don't want to know about it. We have turned our faces to that. We never explain that. We can report that there is gravity in the Mother Earth. But how there is gravity and why there is gravity, that we cannot explain. All right, this is being very honest, I should say, that whatever we cannot explain, we should accept it. And we have to now know, is there any method to find out how these things happen, how it is worked out? After all, in the realm of science, you haven't found out everything so far. And whatever you have found out, you have only found out the things that you can see, perceive by this human awareness, but nothing beyond. You cannot explain anything. And once you know that you cannot explain, you just take it for granted and say it's all right. One of the things we have taken for granted is our human awareness. We do not want to think that there must be some reason God has made us human beings. We know there is evolution, that we accept, thank God. Now no more somebody is not going to crucify me for saying that you are evolved. But nobody wants to think why. Why are we evolved to be human beings? To be crazy people? To be paranoid? Or to be just insured in some insurance company to die? Or to love 2-3 children and leave all the money in their name? Or some sort of a limited sphere that we think of in which we find satisfaction? Was that the reason for this universal being to create us into a human being? Must be some purpose, cannot be purposeless. Why did he create us, we must all think? Is just to slog and run a rat race and then die? Or is there something beyond? And when people start thinking about something beyond, then some create an image of God, say, all right, there is God. Then they say, all right, if there is no God, there is some sort of a cosmic power. Or they have given big, big names to all this unknown power. It's a simple name I give it, is love of God. That also many people use, you will be amazed. Love of God. Many people use it. But when you know this love of God, then this love flows from you. It just emits. It acts. It works out the way a flower becomes a fruit, in the way all these things happen. This flow of love acts. And that action, you may call it miracle or whatever it is, but it's very natural, because if it is flowing now on a level that is available to you, it has taken you to a subtler level from where you are emitting this, you get connected, say, to that tremendous power of universal love, then it must act. It's easy to talk about it. I mean, you can have people who can give lectures and lectures and lots of lectures about love. Also, you can see groups of people just moving in a wave, like some drugged or alcoholic people saying, oh, we are all in love, you see, we are moving. But it doesn't act. Love has to act. If it is not acting, then it is not God's love, it is some sort of a mental projection, or maybe your imagination that you are in love and you are in a romantic situation or some sort of a thing like that. It's something like any other human romantic adventure. This is not reality. Love of God in reality acts, manifests. And how does it manifest? As Muhammad Sahib has said, that when the time of resurrection will come, your hands will speak. Their mouth only speaks, not the hands. With the mouth they will say, all right, this is in love of God we are doing this. Sometimes I see all these plays going on, or we can say the circus going on. I'm amazed, how can they befool themselves and befool others for nothing at all? When this dynamic love flows, it acts. Because this is the vital love. This is the love which has energy of giving energy to others. This is the love that combines all the energies of the world. And if this love cannot do the work of those energies, what's the use of having this love or talk about it? So the time has come for people now to face it directly and see it directly what it is. But most surprising thing is that human beings don't like the truth. They don't like it normally. If they put some show of artificiality, you will get thousands of people here sitting down. You might get the whole of Delhi caught up into it. Some sort of an artificial thing which has no relationship with God and His love. That is very much more appreciated. Because people think by that they don't have to achieve something. There's nothing to be done about it. For example, if I say I'm going to take out a diamond from the air, then thousands will be impressed, especially in the developing countries where they think diamond is the last word for God to give us. It's a headache, you know that. Thank God the diamonds now have gone down in value. So now they will take out something else from the air. But there are many who are mad after such people who materialize things and give. I mean, one should use the brains God has given us for using it. Do you think that God is interested in giving us diamonds? Then there are people who will tell you, all right, if you stand on your head for 10 days every day, then you will have your realization, you will become a great man. So they will do it because there's a challenge to the ego. But after 10 days, having all the headaches and all that, you go to the gentleman, he'll say, no, these were your karmas. You had some blockades. And this happened and that happened. That's how you didn't get it. So you do it with a double energy. Same thing. Again for 10 days. Within 1 month, you are starved, finished, and you might develop epilepsy or something and finish off in a lunatic asylum. Could be anything. There could be some other type who would say, all right, we must all meditate. Meditate here, meditate there. You cannot meditate. You have to be in meditation, means you have to be in that subtle awareness where you are collectively conscious. Is an awareness, is a higher awareness than what you have. Now, then they start meditating. Meditate on this, meditate on a light, meditate on your head and all that. You are to be connected first. Even prayers are the same way. If you are praying like mad, God must be fed up, first of all. If not, if He is not fed up with you, at least one should find out, are we at least connected with God? How are we to believe that whatever we are talking is heard by Him? What is the proof? We have to first of all establish that there is a rapport already established between us and God. If it is not so, then you are dishonest. Because if you are a scientist, you must first verify that whatever you are doing in a proper way. I would say most of the people who have been now going to different groups and churches and this and that, are thinking, what are we doing? Are we doing something sensible? What have we been doing? What did our forefathers do? Is it correct? Did it lead us anywhere? Or did we lead others anywhere? Why not ask this question? You see, nowadays I've seen some people sit down and plan out how to make it more interesting for people to come. I mean, they may start, say, for example, a discotheque in a church or anything to make it more entertaining. I mean, is that the way? Are you going to reach God? That could be the attitude of any sect which is not yet connected with God. That's why I would say that we all of us have to face ourselves and ask ourselves honestly, are we connected to God or not? Now, how are we to know whether we are connected or not? I mean, if you believe you are already connected, I have nothing to say. Because this argument can take me away to such an extent that I will have no time for others. Like the other day, one gentleman took half an hour just arguing and I had to work. And he kept me busy very selfishly. I said, now will you please stop it and come and see me some other time? The others were all waiting. So we have to find out how far do we know that we are connected to God. How are we going to find out? That is very, very simple. Very simple it is. How do you find out that this is receiving my mouth? It's like my mouthpiece. That it is receiving my sound. That on the other side a person can hear. That means this is working all right. Now, if I ask a question and that person can answer it, that means he is listening to me and this is working all right. Now, supposing my talking to on
Shri Adishati Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Let's collectively establish ourselves in our own being. Sit comfortably and just breathe in and breathe out, putting both hands on the floor. Shri Ganesh mantra. Both hands are on the floor collectively. And we feel Mother Earth and we feel the Lord Ganesh at the center of Mother Earth. The glow, the presence, the power, and also the energy of gravity, which keeps us on the planet. And that same energy is sucking all the negativities in our hands and from our hands. Let's say 4 times Shri Ganesh and 4 times Shri Adibhumi Devi Mata with full heart. Om Tvame Twameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Om Twameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Shri Adibhumi Devi Mata with full attention, high attention on perceiving and connecting to Shri Adibhumi Devi. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Adibhumi Devi Mata Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Adi Bhumi Devi Mata Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Adi Bhumi Devi Mata Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Adi Bhumi Devi Mata Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Let's surrender to Shri Adibhumi Devi and feel how Mother Earth absorbs all negativities on both our hands and from Muladhara in all our body, collectively, individually. Let's feel the sucking of Mother Earth and the relief that we feel collectively and individually, and also at humanity level, purification, cleansing is done through us. We need to put our attention at a very higher level so that all humanity also is purified. All the yogis are purified through our collective conscious attention. Let's put the left hand on the lap. Shri Mahakali Bhairava. At the same time that we are putting the left hand on the lap, we are feeling that we are collectively putting the left hand as the Virat. We are jumping progressively into the higher dimension, and only the Virat himself, herself, is putting the left hand on the lap. Shri Mahakali Bhairava mantra. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahakali Bhairava Sakshat Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Complete surrender of super ego at the collective level, individual level, at humanity level. Collective surrender of all the negativities of left side that are bothering us collectively at humanity level, individually. All the viruses, all the attacks, all the black magic, and all the badas that are in the left side of humanity, of all the yogis, and in our left sides. Now, let's put both hands on the lap, and with the right hand, we put the ego down 10 times. Let's do it again with full consciousness. Both hands are on the lap, very open, and the right hand is used to put the ego down 7 times, being conscious that it is the Virat that is putting the ego of the Virat, the ego of humanity down. So let's do it with full attention as being the Virat. After 7 times, we put the right hand on the lap, left hand over the shoulder. Shri Maha Saraswati Hanumana, with the full desire that ego is totally absorbed by Mother Kundalini, that the mind is totally absorbed, and that only pure consciousness is on the right side. Nothing remains from ego and mind. No thought, just peace. Shri Mahasarasvati Hanumana. Om Tvameva Saksha Shri Mahasarasvati Hanumana Saksha Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Let's surrender collective ego, ego of humanity, ego of all our leaders, ego of all the yogis. both hands on the lap. Attention above Sahasrara. Attention above the collective Sahasrara that is floating above our head as the Virat. Shri Adi Kundalini Gauri Mata. Om Vameva Sakshat Shri Adi Kundalini Gauri Mata Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Shri Nirvikalpa Om Vameva Sakshat Shri Nirvikalpa Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Once more, collectively, Shri Nirvikalpa. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Nirvikalpa Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Complete collective attention on the glory of God, who stands as a sun of millions and millions of suns into one above the collective Sahasrara. The light is so radiating and so powerful. We surrender to the glory of God, God the Father, God the Mother, above Sahasrara. And we let ourselves be carried as the divine child that we are to our Mother and our Father. Complete surrender until we become that sun of light made of millions of suns in one. We become the pure spirit, the super consciousness. let's collectively ask ourselves, where is my attention? Where is my attention? We really need to have a collective, stable, strong attention beyond Sasvara, a very steady and powerful attention. And we need each of us to feel that we are the Virat, wherever we are, all over the world. We are the manifestation of the Virat in Nirvikalpa state, completely united with the pure consciousness, the pure presence of God above Sasvara. Strong attention, powerful surrender. Now, let's try and have the complete love of the Lord Ganesh for Devi and the complete devotion of Sri Hanuman for Sri Rama. We need to be able to be the perfect disciples, perfect children through our heart, to open our heart and become as dedicated as the Lord Ganesh to his mother, and as devoted as Sri Hanuman to Sri Rama, to have a complete faith, complete trust, and complete love for Devi, our beloved mother, Shri Adishakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devi. We need to do it now, collectively, to jump into the higher reality and become one with her in Sahasrara. Now, we need to have a quick check of our being as the Virat. As Mother Kundalini is rising powerfully, completely in us as the Virat, we need to feel Mother Kundalini rising completely in us. Our hands, our central channel are totally enlightened. We have a very big, very wide central channel, and the river of pure vibration is flowing in our hands, in our feet, and in our body. We are completely enlightened. And as Mother Kundalini is rising and totally established beyond Sahasrara in the higher dimensions, we feel that every chakra is completely opened as we are the Virat. And all the deities are sit on their golden seats with their consort, Shri Ganesh in Muladhara, completely established, strong Muladhara, Shri Brahmadeva Saraswati, blessing us, established in the Swadhisthana, Sri Lakshmi Vishnu in Nabi, and in Bhagavat, in the void, Sri Adi Guru Dattatreya. In Central Heart, Sri Durga, powerful goddess, riding Sri Shiva as in the form of Sri Hanuman as the lion being an aspect of Sri Shiva. So powerful in our central heart, establishing the complete security, the complete fearlessness in us, the complete righteousness. Shuddhi, Shri Krishna, Allah, the God of all the gods, Shri Vishnu, in his global and complete form, with his consort, Shri Radha, in Agya, the Lord Jesus Christ, so powerfully established in Agya, controlling completely Agya, left and right channels, ego and superego, and protecting us completely from falling into hell or into any danger. And finally, the deity of Saswara in her complete form, the mother of all the mothers, the true goddess of the whole creation and beyond, Shri Adi Shakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devi, in complete meditative mood. She is blessing us. Let's feel her complete love in our heart, a complete vibration in our being. And let's just surrender and embrace all those blessings, absorb them in all our cells, in all our being, and feel that even the air around us is sparkling, radiating, full of vibration. Through our collective attention, the whole world is enlightened with pure vibrations. And all the deserving human beings get their realization through our collective attention and desire. For 2 minutes, let's meditate to absorb and integrate all the deities in our being and be completely one with all of them in our higher form as Virat.
आंचल में पला। माँ ओ मेरी माँ, मैं तेरा लाडला। माँ ओ मेरी माँ, मैं तेरा लाडला। बन के तेरा साया मैं तुझको थाम लूं, उठ के रब से पहले मैं तेरा नाम लूं। बन के तेरा साया मैं तुझको थाम लूं, उठ के रब से पहले मैं तेरा नाम लूं। रखूं तुझे पलकों तले, पूजा करूं तेरी, तेरे सिवा तू ही बता क्या जिंदगी मेरी। मैं तो तेरे सपनों के रंग में ढला, तेरी उंगली पकड़ के चला। ममता के आंचल में पला, तेरी उंगली पकड़ के चला। ममता के आंचल में पला। माँ ओ मेरी माँ, मैं तेरा लाडला।
जय श्री माता जी। कलेक्टिव नमस्कार। कुंडलिनी